That's a good boy. That's a good pup. Okay. Hold on. Make sure I got my keys. Yep. Okay. Let's try to stay out the muck, Left. Now, Lefty was raised in the snows of New York, western New York. So this is all old news to him. And he knows you can get your nose down in that snow and get some really good sniff. He actually found the leg to an elk a couple of minutes ago, but I didn't have the camera yet. He tracked it down. He's on hunting mode for sure. Huh. Not seeing any footprints yet. We did see some small, like rodent footprints around that. Oh, here's some. Here's some. Over here. Right here. There. Yeah, that's rodent tracks. So they're living up in this hill. This mound of fall that the loggers left here. You can see their little tracks there. Yup. Trying to tilt you all down a little bit more. There you go. Okay. Oh, he's so happy. See, you know, even though it might seem cold, snowy, way preferable to the hot, rocky, sandy, dusty, southern Arizona climate. I mean, it's good for a while, but it gets old after a while. So on my list of things I'm going to do, let me qualify that, things I want to do, is I want to find a different winter location to spend the season. And I know there's got to be one of you out there that can say, hey, I know the exact spot, David. So please email me if you got a secret spot that you're willing to share with Lefty and I. And I would be very grateful. Somewhere that we can spend the winter season that has mild temperatures and isn't a mess of rock and dust and sand like we've been. Oh, there's some tracks. Yup. What are those tracks from? It looks like hop, hop, hop. So that's like a little, what, kangaroo rat? Right? Hop, hop, hop. Oh, yeah. See, he knows how to get down in that snow. We used to always do following tracks in the snow back in New York. I would get his nose, I'd point to where one was, and he'd follow it. Oh, this is all swampy down here. Yeah, this is a runoff area down here. So, here, let's go back up this way, Left. Come on. Go a different direction. Okay? Oh, it's good packing. Anybody of you that grew up in snow climates, the term, it's good packing, you know what I'm saying, right? It just reminds me of when I was a kid. Oh, it's good packing. So it's snowball fight day. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Dude, remember I'm old and we're at elevation here. I haven't felt any side effects from the elevation. Now, I don't have the exact elevation here. It's between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. I'll pull up the app on my phone when I'm editing the video, and I'll put it right in here to what our actual elevation is. See, now that little bit of like uphill jog I just did, I'm a little bit out of breath, which I normally, you know, at lower elevation I wouldn't be. So, you know, this is our second day here. I'm still getting used to it. Oh, there's another. Oh, there's the elk. We just stumbled upon it. Yeah. Wow. Oh, is it an elk? No, I think it's, I don't know. See the length of that jawbone? Hey, hey, hey. Oh, he wants to play with it. Leave it. I don't know. Tell me what that is. Had good teeth. It wasn't very old, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know what that is. There's a foot. We found the other foot. Hoof. Right over the way there. It's a crazy thing to stumble upon, right? Where's the carcass? This has been dragged around, obviously, so the body is... Leave it. Come on. The body is somewhere else, the torso and such, and the hind end. I'm sure he'll find it. Oh, there's the other hoof, right there. That one, we found that one earlier. Yeah, this is the same place he was sniffing a few minutes ago. You can hear the snow crunching under my feet. That's a great sound. If you've ever been walking in fresh snow, like, nope, edit video. If you've ever walked in fresh snow and you're like up in the woods by yourself and all you hear is that crunching, there's, I don't know, there's something that really strikes a chord, like internally. There's something about that sound. Are you quite done? Come on. Easy, easy. All this fall from the, you know, I don't want him to poke his foot on some of these branches. His pads, I'm sure, are like triple leather from all the rocks and stuff, but still don't want him to get hurt. Yeah, this is better. When they've done that fresh logging, the whole area is just peppered with fall and all the branches and such. The areas where they did it a while ago, it's all kind of been burned off. People have burned it. It's rotted into the ground, and so now this is much better here. Plenty of stuff to burn if you come to this area, that's for sure. You won't go short on firewood. You know, I was thinking about it this morning while I was drinking coffee. I really would like to unhook him here and let him run. There's so many opportunities for him to get into trouble, though. Wildlife, people, injury. You know, if he runs off out of sight and gets injured and I can't find him, I can't get those kind of thoughts out of my mind. And I feel like I'm being like a pussy for feeling like that. But it would be catastrophic to our lives, you know? All it would take is just one incident and everything's done. Our whole lives would be turned upside down. And the only way I can work to avoid that happening is to keep him in my line of sight, you know, on the leash. And, you know, he was raised on a leash, and as much as it is great to see him running and ripping, he was raised doing this. been so long on the lead that we kind of go as a team, you know. He knows the feel of the leash if I'm guiding him a different direction, or he doesn't try to go too fast. He maintains kind of a consistent tension on the lead, not too much. See? I mean, that's pretty normal right there. It's just, he knows my speed, and we've been doing this so long. What? That, and when he's on the lead, he knows what's going on. And I think he's comfortable. We've been doing it for so long. Oh, mushy, mushy. Okay. Okay. Oh, mushy, mushy. Now the road. Yeah, this road is pretty hard packed. Man, that is red. Isn't that some red dirt? Oh. So some areas, you know, are just really wet, the low runoff areas, and then other areas are nice. I still want to get up in there, so we're gonna bide our time on the other side of the road until that area over there dries up and we can relocate. And so the downside to that is, you know, I don't feel like setting everything up at the camp where we are, because I know we're going to be moving. And that means that I'm not as comfortable as I could be. One of the main things is if I set up the shower tent and then I can store stuff in it when I'm not showering, trying to get him into fighting shape, down to his fighting weight, now that the winter is over, and he's going to be more active. So I'm going to pull some of the pounds off of him, because he got a little chubby, because he's so spoiled. And that's fine. I'm just like me. I'm fat from the winter. I got to get some pounds off. So I've been doing my super beets, mixing it up with water and drinking that down. In fact, I didn't check the mirror. I might have purple lips from the super beets, or red, whatever you want to call that, magenta colored. I don't know. Fuchsia. Now this spot up in here, see how open this is? This gets sun for most of the day. It's too bad that this big pile of fall is in there. And this was right up here, it's too moist. I looked at it yesterday, because if you go up and kind of around the end of this pile, beautiful spot, a lot of sun for solar. But it's too wet yet to get in there. Right there, it's too wet. And my 6-ton truck, I don't want to get it stuck. Could you imagine? That would ruin my day. So we're just walking where there's not too much muck. Not too many branches on the ground. There we go. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. I have to, whoops. Crossed over. Hold on. Whoop. Okay. I have to remind myself sometimes, you know, a day like this, and this instant right here, this is my life. I have to remind myself at times. I don't think I'm conveying that, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. You know, you think, like, you go on a camping trip, right? And you have a moment where maybe you get up the first morning, you're there, and it's quiet and nobody's up yet. The birds are chirping and a squirrel runs by and you see a deer, and you have a moment where you go, oh, this is great. And I have to stop and have those moments, because, you know, this is kind of, it gets lost in the everyday here, because it is every day. And I have to stop myself sometimes and just like literally take a deep breath and say, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, you know. I have to just remind myself and say, I'm so lucky to be here doing what I'm doing. And this is our everyday. I never imagined that I would be waking up in an Arizona mountain to fresh snow and walking Lefty around. Just, it's mind-boggling, the juxtaposition between this and my past life, as I call it. It's such a global change that it's makes my head kind of swirl thinking about it. It's such a difference. I get a lot of emails and comments from a lot of you folks, and you're telling me that I was an inspiration and that I helped you kind of make that decision, that you were on the fence, or just that our video showing what we go through has helped you to make the decision, and you bought your rig or you're shopping on one now. And just a lot of people that I hear that from. And I don't know the right term. I don't think thankful. And it's encouraging for me to hear that, because when I was making my decision, I think a lot of, you know, everyone scours YouTube, right? YouTube is the information conduit to help people make a decision. Right or wrong, that's where everyone ends up, watching videos of what people are doing. And when I was making my decision, I did the same thing. And it seemed like the majority of people that I saw, and you know, maybe I just wasn't watching the right channels and seeing the right people, but I saw a lot of the glamorous side. I saw a lot of that, and there, you know, rightly so, there are glamorous times when you're living out here. You know, a moment like this is what I would consider to be a great time and something to really share with people. But there's a contrast to it. You know, last night it went down in the 20s here, and I'm watching my battery compartment temperature. I'm running the little fan that pushes inside air out into that cabinet, and get up this morning and the sun's, you know, starting to get close to where the panels are, so it's going to start wanting to charge the batteries. And I'm seeing the temperature in my compartment. My weather station, come on this way, my weather station is telling me it's 33 degrees. My charge controller is telling me it's 42 degrees. And all I'm doing is I'm running the inside heater and I'm running the fan to do the best I can to warm it up. And so I wasn't super confident that my batteries were in good shape to start accepting charge this morning. And so I had, you know, I went out and I actually turned off the charge controller, and I thought, okay, I'm going to let the sun come and start to warm everything up. And in the meantime, I made my coffee, and the warmth from the coffee, the flame, and it started warming the cabinet up more. It went up a couple of degrees according to my weather station. Come on. See, because I turned around and now he's molting. There's all kinds of adventures down this way, buddy. You want to walk up in here? Come on. And so I had, you know, a couple hours of, should I turn it on, or what do I do? And, you know, and that's, you know, I'm going to put that on me. That's kind of like my fault because of trying to install this stuff and figuring it out as I go. So the glamorous morning shot of us walking through fresh snow is peppered with, I just had kind of a mildly stressful time deciding if my batteries were safe. Now that's an example that's super easy to overcome. You buy the batteries with the heaters in them, or you put a heater in your cabinet. You know, there's all kinds of things that can be done. So that's just an example that's an easy one to solve, but there are a lot of those kinds of things that need to be solved and ironed out to add up to more of the glamorous moments, because everything is not always perfect. You have to, well, think of it this way. You have to spend a little to get some, right? So you have to spend some, not stress, but you have to cash in some not great moments to get the great moments. And, you know, is it a 1-for-1? Do you get one bad for one good? I would say you get one bad for 3 good. How's that? So, out of 4 moments, 1 is bad and 3 are good. So you got a 75% good ratio. That's not bad, right? And the more you do your things and the more you get better at your stuff and the more you streamline your equipment and your gear, the more you're going to raise that percentage up to where you're 80, 85, 90% of the time it's all good, right? Wait. That's a road closed, buddy. So it says foot, horse, and bike travel is permitted. What about dogs? What about lefties? So back when, you know, years ago when I was doing my YouTube education on what to expect out here, I think I saw a lot more of the good than the bad. In fact, I know I did. And, you know, I try to show, and what I do without, you know, gloom and dooming it, I try to show that there are some prices to pay for having good times out here. And I don't want to be the guy who posts videos only when stuff is going wrong, because that's not, you know, that's not correct. Like I said, 1 bad moment for 3 good moments. And I feel comfortable saying that would be accurate. And now, you know, I've talked in the past about how your starting time on the road can be pretty rough. So maybe flip that. You get 3 bad moments for 1 good in the beginning. And then as you get better and your equipment and your gear, it gets a better setup, and you start becoming more comfortable with what you're doing, then that ratio changes till you got more good than bad, and then you get very, very few bad times. And so for all of the folks that I've heard from that are talking about you know, making the decision to go on the road, I want to again emphasize that if it's rough in the start, it'll get better. And don't expect that to be the way it is all the time. You know, you can walk out here, you can have some moments just like this, trekking around in some snow. You you just stick with it, fix your issues that you're having, and keep pushing forward. And I did mention this in a past video that I feel a sense of responsibility to everyone that is telling me that, you know, I was a motivator for them to make their decision. And I do take that seriously. And because I take that so serious, and because of that, I want to portray how I get through things. Now, I will say for sure, my ability right now to kind of put stresses aside and take things as they come has improved dramatically since I first went on the road. I was not good at that. I was still very high-strung and wound up, and when things went bad, I didn't handle it well. And I think I have become much more adept at doing that. And I don't think that I would have been able to make that transformation in my old life, because I didn't, you know, I was wound pretty tight. And now today, I'm quite a bit looser than I used to be, right? I mean, how could you not be? I mean, how could you not be when you get to enjoy things like this? Right, puppy? Ah, boy. Boy. Oh, that's a boy. Okay. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, this is all frozen over. Oh, oh my goodness. You like the snow? Ah! That's my boy. And if you can take a dog as a companion with you on the road, I highly recommend it. I really do. It gives you somebody to take care of in addition to yourself. And if you're a dog person, you're gonna have a lot of fun with your pup out here. Especially with an adventure dog. Especially. Spreads his paws. He's got his snowshoes on, right? I'm getting hungry. To all of you out there that are watching our videos, thinking about making that decision to get yourself a rig and start enjoying life and playing around a bit more than you used to, go for it. Because you can't replace something like this. You know, take a weekend camping trip. You can't replace this. Oh, there's the road. Yeah, I always know where we are, generally, just by direction. Oh, there's some nice logs there that they stacked up. Ooh, mushy, mushy. So one of the bummers to this is going to be getting back in the rig with the muddy paws and mucky boots, but I got a little system and I don't stress it, you know, because everything can be wiped up. I used to really stress that, but not anymore. Lefty is a good walker. When I want him to stay beside me, I just use that word. And he backs off a little, and he stays right here with me. Hey. Now, I'm not saying he's perfect, but he will walk Like right now, there's no tension at all on the leash. And he will do this. Now, if something exciting happens, he's going to want to go investigate it, but hey, walk with me. Walk with me. That's a good pup. That's a good boy. But he will do this. Now, when I first got him, oh my gosh, walking on a leash was a terrible ordeal. And it took me time. I mean, I was pig-headed about it. I said, I'm going to get this dog to walk with me. And I'm talking, you know, a few months, because I'm not a dog trainer. I just knew that where I wanted him to walk and how I wanted him to walk, and I kept just making him do it over and over and over and over again. And I remember one day, you know, it was constantly, he was like breaking my arm, pulling. And then one day, we were walking, and all of a sudden, he was walking a little bit behind me. And I'm not pulling him, he's not pulling me. And from that day forward, he became a leash walker. Just suddenly, something clicked. And he did it. But when I visit my daughter, she always comments about how he's such a good dog on the leash, you know, compared to Blue. But I think Blue, I mean, I got Blue to walk on the leash with me pretty quickly. She adapted to it really quick. For me, and I would have both of them on the leash, and I think, you know, her walking alongside Lefty and him not yanking on me, and I would have the two of them right in front of me. And she got really good at it really fast, like in a matter of 2 days. Walk with me. That's a good pup. His head's on a swivel. Huh? Head on a swivel. Too much stuff to soak up. I feel like I'm lost all of a sudden, but no, I know exactly where we are. That's a good boy. It's a good boy walk. Good boy walk. Now, I don't show this. I always put Lefty out in front of me when I'm filming for all of you, because I want you to be able to see him and the action we're going through, and having the camera pointed down to the side here is just not, it's not great, you know? So when I usually walk and when I'm telling y'all a story or we're doing a hike, I let him go out in front, so that y'all can see him having fun. Oh, this road is mushy right here. So the last thing we'll do before we get back to go inside is I'll walk him around in the snow and wash his feet off as much as possible. Yeah, you got red footprints, buddy. Hold on. So that's how I normally have him when I'm got the camera on. So you can kind of see the Lefty world of hiking. I do want to get a camera and mount it on his back. I've got so many gadgets and gizmos and straps and buckles and camera mounts and stuff. I got to sit down and rig one up and get it attached to him. I know it's doable. How long it'll last, I don't know. But I have the camera I'm shooting on now is one of my older cameras. I have two of this same one, and then I have one that I had originally that's even older, so I'll probably use that one. It shoots beautiful picture. It's a Yi camera, YI. The Yi Light shoots beautiful picture. It's just the audio, and you can't plug an external mic into it. You okay? What was that? You slipped? So that yee quickly became not used. What I'll do is I use it for clipping it to the bike, because the picture, it takes beautiful looking video, just not great audio. So I'll use it for video only. So that's what I'll put on him. It does record audio, just we'll record with the internal mic on it and clip it to his back and see what happens. If any of you have a way that you've put a camera on a dog, and I'm sure there's probably gear that's specific for that, leave me a comment or send me an email. And I'm sure I can rig something up, but if there's something that's purpose-built that works well, I'd like to try that maybe. I'm a little out of breath. See, that was just all a gradual uphill, and I can feel, and the talking, you know, if I wasn't talking, I think I'd be fine. You know, right up here is where we found the shovel, the fleet find last year. Right up in this area. Someone had got stuck. Whew! Let me catch my breath. Yeah, so this is, right over here is where we camped usually, and that's where I'd like to go to, because it's farther off the road. Once the road gets dry, it's going to be dusty where we're parked right now with people going up and down the road. So we don't want to stay over there. I don't want to go back to the truck with 10 pounds of mud in between your toes. Oh, no. Back this way. Come on. Come on. Don't dig in. Come on. It's too muddy, buddy. Okay. There you go. It's too muddy up there. You need a bath. He doesn't care. Ooh, that's a big mud puddle, isn't it? You want to go up here? Easy. Yeah, he wants to go anywhere that's not right there. Come on! Oh boy. So thank you all for coming on our walk this morning and listening to me ramble. These thoughts and feelings kind of overtake me when I'm thrown into a different environment. You know, this is a big change from where we just were, and so it kind of switches me up inside. So I'm going through like kind of a reset right now, not only like logistically and gear and all that, but in my mind I'm going through a reset. It kind of takes me over, and so that's what triggers me to have these kind of thoughts and feelings and converse with all of you about what I'm feeling. And I think it's just it's an incredible opportunity that we have, that we can move from location to location and experience such a wide and vast array of weather and climates and terrain and all that. You throwing roosters? No. 2 weeks from now, this place is going to look considerably different. It will have dried up quite a bit. One thing I did notice, there's a couple of holding ponds down there, and one of them, the side is all down and the water is all flowed out. Now, I don't know if that was done purposely or if that failed, because they had like berms built up. You saw us last year looking at the prairie dogs. He was prairie dog hunting. But that pond is, it's got a lot of water in it, but it's kind of flowed out into the field. It's not all contained in the berms any longer. Now, I know that this water is cold AF, so I'm not letting him get down into it. That would not be good. I'm sure his feet are probably chilly right now. Oh, this sun feels so good. Come on this way, bud. Come on. Back this way. Come on. Come on. There's a boy. Yeah, see, this is quite loose here. Come on, Left. So again, I'm glad we don't have to go anywhere for several days. We're just gonna wait for this to dry out. Very similar to what we went through last year when we came here. I think it was on the 3rd or 4th day we had a snowstorm, and there was no way we were going to pull out of there for a couple days, and then everything dried up. I mean, you can see things are drying up already. All it takes is this sunlight and the nice breeze, and it dries things up pretty quick. That's my boy. Well, again, thank you all for coming along on our walk, seeing the new sights. I wish y'all could smell the smells and feel the air. It really is terrific here. Gonna jump up inside and get something to eat for breakfast. Get Lefty his breakfast. And start another day here.